Welcome back. It is time for today's Talkback segment. Each day, we post a question on Court TV's social media pages. We gather your comments and questions and respond right here on the show. The defense case continued today in the Take Care of Maya civil trial. As the attorneys are wrapping up, we wanted to see what you thought of the case so far. Still with us. Joining us is criminal defense attorney Daryl Cohen, criminal defense attorney, former prosecutor David Bruno as well. All right, gentlemen, let's get to our first comment. It comes from VW. VW says, I think Maya is still living a lie. Again, Daryl, the reference there is to a comment that was testified to by one of the defense witnesses. This was supposedly said by Maya. She heard Maya say this. Of course, the implication being that maybe this was all a creation of Mom. Certainly wasn't her creation, and maybe she was just trying to satisfy Mom's need for attention.
So we can't cross-examine or directly examine Mom. She's dead. She's gone. She's buried. All of this is going to completely rely on the credibility and the likability of Maya, and more importantly, the likability or lack thereof of the hospital and the hospital staff. You've got to convince those 6 men and women in Florida one way or the other.
Yeah, I agree. It really does come down to that. Our next comment comes from Mildred. Mildred says, look for the Kowalskis filing a sexual assault suit against Johns Hopkins All Children's Hospital. They should. A provider of theirs admitted she heard about a sexual assault, but didn't investigate further beyond asking a 10-year-old a few questions. David Bruno, that's part and parcel of the plaintiff's case. Apparently a doctor came in, lifted up her gown that she had on, looked at her naked. And the big problem was, nothing was explained to Maya, at least according to Maya. It wasn't explained to her why he was doing it. That's something that I think juries would take very seriously.
Yeah, sure. But you know what? This is the action to bring it in, right? If you're going to add causes of action or those types of allegations, we should have the issues resolved here and now. And really, the victim here is Maya. I mean, let's call it what it is. Even if she was influenced by her mom, she was at a very, very young age. At an age where she probably couldn't make the decisions for herself. She was influenced by her mother. And that is what the defense wants this jury to believe. That Mom was involved more so than the plaintiffs want to make of it. And that the defendants, the hospital, the workers made decisions that they saw at the time and that they didn't have any intention to either hurt them or that they didn't breach. So this jury will decide those facts. And we shall see how this comes down.
Yeah, no doubt. You know, a big thing in this case, Daryl, is the foreseeability of what happened to Beata, right? Because when you start talking about hundreds of millions, you're talking about the death of Beata. That's what really, I think, that encompasses. And we know that there was testimony that one of the workers for the hospital texted someone else that I knew she would commit suicide when the suicide was committed because she had seen it before. So there was certain awareness on the part of the staff, and also the fact that when it was adjudicated in court that she couldn't see or touch Maya, she fell down and collapsed completely. There were signs that emotionally this situation was breaking her down. Is that helpful for the plaintiffs?
I think it's very helpful for the plaintiffs, assuming that the jury buys all of that.
Yeah.
Because Mom, now deceased, was throwing ketamine into her daughter. Yeah. Should she or should she not have been doing that? Yeah. The hospital has got to be more loving. They were loving in their care, but they're not loving, in my view, from the stand, from those testimony that I've heard from at least some of the witnesses. Yeah. They've just got to have that likability, caring. I really loved Maya, and everything we did was done to help Maya. And I'm sorry Mom died. I'm sorry Mom committed suicide. I'm sorry she died by her own hand. But we were worried and continue to be worried about Maya.
100%, I agree. That's what's missing from their case. I think the information is good, but I think the delivery hasn't been great in terms of counteracting the emotional testimony we heard from Maya at the end of the day. And online, by and large, people think the hospital workers are lying. All the defense's witnesses are sort of colluding to lie. So it's interesting, and I wonder how that jury feels about it. They're sitting in that courtroom. They have a better vantage point. All right, David Bruno, thank you so much for joining me. Daryl Cohen, always a pleasure to have you in the studio.